Honored guests, please give your attention to the stage and welcome Cornerstone CEO Carrie Wilson and Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Mark Ingrea.
I love my walk-up song. Thank you very much for that. Good evening and welcome to the best night out in Reston. Absolutely, that's an applause line. On behalf of the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce, I'm delighted to welcome you to the 28th Annual Awards event. Partnering to produce this event reaffirms our commitment to recognizing those that go above and beyond to build, sustain, and enrich our community. The Chamber is dedicated to collaborations that offer a business environment that is planned, proven, and connected. And that perfectly sums up the impact this wonderful organization has every day in this region. So let me have your attention so we can get through this and you can get through dinner. Thank you. Cornerstones enables us as a community to anchor low-income and vulnerable families in a safe and stable home environment and empowers them with opportunities to regain their self-sufficiency. Cornerstones would not be here without your support, and we are proud to be part of the team that works with them. Now it's my great honor to introduce to you my friend, my partner, and my sister from another mother, Carrie Wilson.
Good evening, everybody. Mark, I'd like to just thank you, and truly the partnership that Cornerstones enjoys with the Chamber is really unique. And while the Chamber and its many member businesses certainly support a number of important causes, our relationship is enduring. And I think it's the fact that it's grounded in our shared mission to help people and organizations learn, grow, connect, and thrive, and that's what brings us together, so thank you. We're so glad to see everybody. I just want to add my welcome. You know, Cornerstones has been working in this community now for nearly 50 years, and what we know is that place matters. Just yesterday, Chuck Veach and I were reflecting on the beginnings of this community and the people and plans who endow our work and guide us and were to guide us into the future. In this place called Reston, so many of the people who influenced our beginnings, some who are no longer with us, of course Bob, Priscilla, Baba, and Ellen, and people near to my heart and Cornerstone's mission, Vade, Stu, and BJ, all of whom had a tremendous impact and the vision. They knew that Cornerstones would be needed to grow beyond the borders of Reston to serve the 16,000 people we see each year. 16,000 people in this small community. But what we took with us along that journey were the values and the principles that guided us and had us so firmly rooted in a community that was welcoming and inclusive. But even so, our region has changed. And some of you know more than 1 in 4 children and seniors go hungry at night. Housing, we have hit a crisis, and it's not available for the people who need it most. And we are failing too many of our children and youth. Place matters. The color of your skin and the neighborhood you were born in has an impact, and we've learned that over the years. And I'm so proud, Cornerstones and all of our partners, to work with Fairfax County and Bryan Hill, who are doing something in our Board of Supervisors, who have said we're going to turn that around, and we're going to work together to redefine opportunity in this county, and the future of our community depends on it. Supervisor Hudgens, Kathy, It has been such an honor to work with you in the time that I've been here and the decades of commitment and service you've given this community. Your welcome, the way you approach people with dignity and patience and say to us, we can do better, we can find room. And I think everyone in this room wants to acknowledge all that you've done in your last Best of Reston as our supervisor. So even in this great place, as we're grappling with change, we were given a blueprint, and it's important that we all work together to take that into the future. Our approach to work in partnership has paid dividends and allowed us to have the kind of impact we want to have, and it's proof in this room tonight with our annual partners, our sponsors, 6,000 volunteers that support our work each year, and most of all, the incredible people we're here to celebrate tonight, each of whom has found a way to give back and make a difference. And that's what it's all about. And I will say that I am so delighted to welcome our gala chair this year, an incredible partner, someone who has worked so hard because he understands this isn't just a great event and the best night out of Reston, but it's the way that we're able to make an impact in people's lives every day. Please welcome Julian Sedian of SOSI. I didn't do my job.
It's like walking up the home plate at Yankee Stadium. All right. Thank you, Carrie. And good evening to all of you. SOSI is so proud to join Cornerstones, the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce, our presenting sponsors, Bechtel and Reston Community Center, and all of you here this evening. We are very proud to stand with other past Best of Reston honorees who are in the room tonight, celebrated for the philanthropic investments our company has made, and to support the causes that matter most to our employees, most notably our work with Cornerstones. SOSI is a company that strives to be a leader in the private sector by supporting and investing in worthy causes that make our wonderful community here in Northern Virginia even stronger and even better. As the largest family-owned and operated business in the aerospace and defense industry, a business that was founded by my mother, who's here with us tonight. Mom, if you could stand up for 2 seconds. A business that was founded by my mother more than 30 years ago, which, like Robert E. Simon, we moved from New York City to Reston, a town we now call home. We share many of the values and principles embodied by Cornerstones and all of you, the community that supports this outstanding organization. We believe in self-empowerment through community service, and in the general notion that the team is always made stronger when its members empathize with and support one another. SOSI is an organization that spends as much time contemplating and defining what it is and what it stands for as it spends on defining what it does. Our company's motto is challenge accepted. And that statement, that declaration, is the simplest and most accurate way of defining who we are and what we stand for. Soci and the incredibly talented and hardworking people who make up our wonderful organization, 20 of whom are sitting here in front of the podium, never shy away from a challenge. We consistently beat the odds, break the record books, and do all that we can do to be the best that we can be. And that's why I'm standing here today. So the more I learned about Cornerstones and the important role that it fills in our community, the more impressed I became by the work, the people, and the organizations that contribute to its impact, including this incredibly impressive 28-year partnership with the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. So when Carrie asked me to chair this year's event, I had a very difficult time finding reasons to say no. She cried, for God's sake. And in true Soci fashion, I said, as our motto states, challenge accepted. I'm extremely grateful to our partners and friends who turned around and joined me in this effort, and very thankful for the people who heeded my call when I asked them to contribute and be a part of this outstanding evening. It's clear, as Carrie said earlier, that place matters. In building our company and moving my family here to Reston, I've come to know that there is an ethos to this place that makes it a fantastic place to do business and to raise families, and a sense that it is possible to solve challenges that go unanswered in other areas or parts of the country. This problem here in Northern Virginia is solvable. And you'll see that spirit tonight as we celebrate our honorees and remember Reston's great founder, Robert E. Simon, and those who've continued his legacy and his hard work in our community.
Tonight, we present the Robert E. Simon Lifetime Achievement Award as a way to honor our founder and his vision. Bob Simon, like the community he envisioned, was larger than life, and his presence in the ballroom and in our hearts is still deeply felt. Bob provided us with the guiding principles that shaped this community he loved. He also worked with Cornerstones to create a special award bearing his name that he presented to those individuals who, as prior honorees, have continued to give back in big ways that support his vision. These honorees, affectionately known as the Robert E. Simon Fellows, and before his death, Bob asked that they continue to the tradition of identifying those individuals whose lifetime service advances the principles that shape the community and are a model for us today. Now, please welcome the Robert E. Simon Fellows.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. This year's honoree is a true native son of Reston and a shining example of what it means to be a builder of a community. He is a previous Best of Reston honoree of the Vade, Bolton, and Rodriguez Award that recognizes individuals who help to ensure that the next generation of community leaders understand and live the principles that Bob believed in. This year's honoree is Casey Veach. Not only has Casey coached, mentored, and inspired hundreds, maybe thousands of young people in our community, but he grew up experiencing and living the Reston dream from the very beginning of his life. Casey was born in 1964, the same year his father, Chuck Veach, came to work for Bob Simon. It was also the year that Reston moved in their first family into their new home, and the first business moved to Reston. He was there for the opening of the very first church, Redeemer Methodist Church, and attended Lake Ann Nursery and Kindergarten, everybody knows as Lank, in its early years. He was with the first students at the opening of Hunter Woods Elementary School, and he was in the very first class at South Lakes High School. Needless to say, Casey is a Reston original. Casey played nearly every youth sport as a kid and through high school. Reston youth football, basketball, tennis, baseball. He swam what was then known as ROA, for ROA, on the Hunters Woods team. He played basketball and tennis for South Lakes High. And all of this before stepping into, I think, adulthood. Since then, Casey has been deeply involved in many, many community activities. There will be a few people taking the stage in a few minutes to represent just a few of the events and initiatives that Casey has supported in the last 15 years. And yes, his methods are sometimes offbeat, or should I say, on-beat.
Yo, back up now, we get to Broker's Room. Our show is a hit, and we're about to go boom. Come and see Andy and me, Our show is on stage, but it's sure not free. 64 projects, whooping profiles, and presenting all the facts that we've been compiling. We try to entertain because it's our duty. You don't like our show, then you can kiss our booty. Sit your body, notes your jotty. Rising rates, they're gonna hurt nobody. Walk this better, there's nothing to fear. Spreading all the good news is why we came here. We'll tell you all the companies that got an on-run. Review the whole market and tell you what's up. We supply the coffee, so fill up your cup. We came here today to hear the crowd go. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Tick, 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 boom. The response to the way we representing is smooth and individual facts, always original. Nobody better than your two favorite tour guides. We are the drivers on a virtual bus ride. That's right, yo, we're in the know. So come on the board and we'll start with the best show. We want everybody in the house to know we came here today to hear the crowd go. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Tick, 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 boom. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Tick, 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 boom.
What can we say? He has mad skills. And here are just a few of the organizations and initiatives that Casey has supported throughout the years. The Reston Virtual Realty Tour, where he honed those rapping skills, by the way. The Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, Inkspire, and by the way, if you represent an organization and I haven't found you tonight, come on up. Inkspire, Northern Virginia Family Service Board of Directors, Reston Bible Church, where he remains very active today. And that's not all. Casey supports so many other organizations, the Leadership Fairfax Board of Directors, Loudoun County Chamber Board, Loudoun CEO Cabinet, Loudoun County EDA, Loudoun Hunger Relief, Cornerstones Housing Corporation Board, First Fruits and Teen Ministries, Briarwood High School Boosters, and the Kids of Reston. And these are just a few, by the way. In addition, Casey has lent his name and his voice to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for organizations in our community. Just a few of them are, he has emceed this event on multiple occasions. And when you think about the fact that he lends his unique style, not just rap, but other styles, his humor, his personality, and his passion to these organizations. He represented this organization, the annual Leadership Fairfax Board of Supervisors breakfast, which, by the way, he will be emceeing tomorrow at 7:30 a.m., the Northern Virginia Family Service Gala, and the High Tech Breakfast, where he has helped make this breakfast into one of the most inspirational and largest regional events in our region. It's amazing. But you know, there's one activity that we haven't mentioned yet, and that is his passion and his love for basketball, and particularly youth basketball. In the last 12 years, Casey has coached 5 different youth leagues with over 30 teams. In fact, we almost didn't have him here tonight because he was supposed to coach his daughter's team, so we had to do a little work around there. The stories alone make it clear why he received the Reston, Vade Bolton, and Rodriguez Award. But look at these folks behind me, and they only represent a fraction of the organizations that Casey is involved with. His influence in our community is undeniable. When you count up all the money he has raised, coupled with the number of lives that he has touched, it is obvious that Casey Veach is in a league of his own. Now let's shake it up and let's welcome Casey Veach to the stage.
I promise you this, I am the only rapper of all time to have non-rep in a rap. That's non-residential use permit in Fairfax County, in case you didn't know. And I rhymed it. All I can think to say is this, and I always tell my kids this, that gratitude is the shortest felt of all human emotions. And there's an account in the Bible where there are 10 people with leprosy that Jesus heals. And all 10 are healed. And we all know that with leprosy back then, your life was over. You were ostracized. You had to say unclean, unclean when you were walking down the street. You were away from your family. Your life was done. He healed all 10. How many people came back to thank him? 1. So I always tell my kids, be the one. Be the one to thank people. And I just will say that I'm so thankful that God blessed me with parents like my dad, Chuck, and my mom, Linda Veach, who passed away 14 years ago. I'm blessed with a beautiful wife, Lisa, and my kids, Cal, Courtney, Bennett, and Ainsley, who are sitting here tonight. And I'm sitting here so grateful that I have so many good friends behind me and out here, and also that Bob Simon had the courage to come down here and have a diverse community so that I was able to grow up in a diverse community. And I can't thank him enough for what he did. So thank you all. Thank you for all you all are doing. I really appreciate this. So now I know why Carrie wanted me to do the invocation. So if we could all pray here. Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we thank you for this wonderful night and for all the great people here. And I also thank you, Lord, that the winners tonight and many people in this community take seriously the command that Jesus gave, which is love your neighbor as yourself. And Lord, I just, again, thank you. I pray you bless this food. I pray that you bless the people who prepared it and for all the people who are working here tonight. And I also, Lord, thank you and would please continue to give aid for those people who need it out here. And I pray this all in your holy name. Amen. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, can we give a big round of applause for Casey Veach? And as a personal aside, the rapping skills you saw, his pseudonym is MC Turkey. So if you see him tonight, call him MC Turkey. Now, the main event. Please join me in welcoming Judy Redpath of Vista Wealth Management Strategies, chair of the Best of Reston Selection Committee, and a 2008 Reston honoree, and our master of ceremonies for the evening. He is a 2001 Best of Reston honoree and the quintessential host of Cornerstones of Our Community. Best of Reston Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Phil Tobey.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here and with such a strong start to the evening. I want to add my thanks to Julian's and to the Chambers and my personal congratulations to Casey Veach. I am inspired as always by the way that our community comes together for the celebration of those whose actions go above and beyond without consideration for recognition. And that, besides a great dinner and good conversation, is why we're gathered here tonight. We support Cornerstones and the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce and their convening power by celebrating those who give back to our community. As chair of the selection committee for this event, I again had the great honor to gather past winners and honorees and community members to review the more than 30 nominations that we received last fall, to select the honorees that we presented to the community at the Best of Reston kickoff, and who we celebrate with this evening's event. Tonight marks nearly 3 decades of this event and a remarkable 215 individuals, businesses, civic and community organizations that illustrate what's really great about the Greater Reston community. That is extraordinary in itself. As the man who has been on this stage and who has handed out most of the awards over the years, I'd like you to welcome me in greeting Phil Tobey, our MC. Phil?
Thank you, Judy. Good evening, everybody. I've been privileged to have been involved with a good percentage of the 28 events of Best of Reston over the years. And I've got to tell you, and we heard it earlier, it is the best and finest event in Virginia on an annual basis. There's no place I'd rather be for this most important event for our community. And by the way, I have the best seat in the house. Now, I want to remind you, this is where you have to pay attention a minute, so bear with me. Most of you have not had enough wine yet, so you can pay attention and you'll hear what I'm going to tell you, because this is getting complicated. There's a schedule this evening, and the program is packed with a lot of activities. Every one of these activities is in support of raising money for Cornerstones. So in a few minutes, you're going to meet the first of our honorees and our special guests. And then we will break for dinner. And then after dinner, we'll come back for the remaining honorees. We'll also celebrate tonight's honorees at the dessert reception and after party downstairs, listen now, in the Hyatt Conservatory Lounge. Now, for those of you who aren't sure what that is the bar. You can take selfies down there, do all the things you'll regret in the morning, but that happens right after the event here this evening. There's also another thing going on, and that is there's a raffle occurring, and there are folks around the room wearing white hats. And if you'll buy a ticket from the raffle seller, you'll have a chance to win a beautiful one-of-a-kind diamond necklace designed and donated by honoree Kurt Rose of Aspen Jewelers. Now, this is the important thing. Whether you're here with a loved one or your wife or one or the other, you do have to be present, though, to win this diamond necklace. Also, for those of you who were here last year, listen up now, there's a wine pull. I don't know if you know what a wine pull is, but you'll learn more as the evening goes along. I also want to call special attention now to a fabulous auction item donated by the Hyatt Regency Reston, where you and 8 guests will enjoy an exquisite tasting event and pairing. Incidentally, the pairing is with wine, not with the other members of the 8 in the party. And that's all served in the hotel's presidential suite. So I hope you got that all straight. Please contribute to all of these activities. And now let's honor some of tonight's Best of Reston. Please focus your attention on the screens as we begin our awards presentation for the 2019 Best of Reston honorees. Joining me to present our first award is Reverend Tom Berlin of Flores United Methodist Church. Despite all the resources and opportunities in our region, young people of color may find achieving success in life more challenging than it should be. The 30-plus men of the local Omicron Kappa Kappa chapter of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity are changing that picture, inspiring young people with their volunteer service, offering scholarships and financial awards, mentoring, and a lifetime network to ensure ours is a community of opportunity for all.
Omicron Kappa Kappa was established in 1996. And since 1996, they have been very good stewards of the community and very good partners. They're a volunteer service organization, and they're very active in the Reston and Herndon area.
Northern Virginia Project Give Back, we provide meals for families in the Northern Virginia area. We've done it for the last 10 years, but our main focus is during Thanksgiving. We provide about 2,000 families meals during that time frame. The OKK, they've always financially provided money for Northern Virginia Project Give Back, provided volunteers, and they've actually taken the box food to the families in Reston.
They do mentoring, after-school programming. They also have something called DOGS, which is Don't Associate with Gangs, which they take middle school children for a week and teach them about the dangers of involvement with gangs, substance abuse, things of that nature.
I initially I was introduced to the OKK Foundation through the Chamber of Commerce, and they were particularly interested in the free training and workshops that we had for students. We are teaching the students coding, STEM skills, 21st century skills. They are great at promoting the event and getting the children to sign up, so it's been a great experience.
There's a scholarship program in which students are provided financial assistance in order to help them to offset the cost of college.
Hi, my name is Kayla Powell. I'm a sophomore at Howard University. I'm currently studying Theater Arts Administration, and I'm very honored to have received the scholarship from the OKK Foundation in 2017. I graduated from Centerville High School that year, and I am really thankful for receiving the scholarship. It's helping me to attend my dream school.
There's also a talent hunt that's also conducted, and what the talent hunt does is really helps shine a light on students that are talented but really wouldn't have the platform in which to showcase their ability. And both of these are competitive endeavors. A lot of the work that they do is child-focused and child-centered. However, they also have a health initiative that they do in which they do screening, and that comes from the fact that one of our chapter members is Charles Drew, who started the blood bank, and as a result of that, We do an annual health initiative pretty much across the country for all chapters. They also do a Relay for Life, which is predicated on cancer. I think last year they raised over $7,000 for the cause, and it's 100% goes to the cause, and it's really an all-day event. Additionally, OKK also has a voter registration drive, and they drive individuals to the polls. They also do 4 times a year an Adopt a Highway cleanup, in which they go out and make sure that their section of the highway is clean.
They're always trying to help kids, they're always trying to help families, and they're always trying to help the community.
To be an active member in the Reston Herndon community and to be recognized as such, and for a lot of things they do, I think is really an accomplishment for them. So congratulations to Omicron Kappa Kappa chapter, the Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Building community, inspiring success. Please welcome the men of the OKK Foundation and their director, Dr. Carrie Powell.
Thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And good evening. On behalf of OKK, we're really proud to be here and receive this prestigious award. Together, we would like to thank our friends, Cornerstones, and the Reston Chamber of Commerce on behalf of OKK Omicron Kappa Kappa chapter. We have cherished our relationships for the past several years. We are humbled and honored to receive this award and recognition, especially considering all the other amazing organizations who are finalists. It is clear that there are many, many groups who love and care about the greater Reston community. OKK, both as chapter of an international fraternity and a 501c3 organization, is not alone in that regard.
We thank everyone in this room and the entire Reston community for entrusting us to provide volunteer service and civic affairs programs for the past 20 years. Reston is a unique and special DC suburb. OKK sees the beauty and dignity of all of our residents, but has a special commitment to helping young people of color experience a brighter tomorrow. From elementary school youngsters to high school seniors who need scholarships to afford college. Thank you again for this award, and know that we are both humbled and honored.
Joining me on stage now to present our next award is Beverly Cosham of Reston Community Center. Our next honoree is BEI. Founded by Mike and Ellen Jennings, BEI is a full-service information technology company that focuses on the individual needs of the people they work with. BEI brings that same expertise and passion to assuring the success of the dozens of nonprofit organizations that they have supported in our community for more than 20 years.
BEI has been an IT lifesaver. Mike and Ellen have generously donated their expertise to us. And they have updated all of our systems, keep us running smoothly, and really all at a cost that anybody could afford.
BEI has been our IT support group, and what that means is they provide us all the equipment and all the services for a sponsorship trade. So for us, it's a huge cost savings for us. But Mike has gone above and beyond, and so has Ellen, in terms of leadership positions here. You know, Mike is on our executive committee and has been for a number of years. He's very engaged with the chamber. He comes to a lot of our events. They sponsor a lot of our programming here, which is really fabulous. Ellen is very active on our Resourceful Women Committee.
Ellen has helped with so many things, anywhere from resume building to clothing donation drives to getting together support groups for the women in shelter, either by cooking them meals or just meeting with them, sitting down with them one-on-one.
So Mike and Ellen have been very active outside of the chamber in the community, right? So with the Boy Scouts, Amy's Amigos, and also with South Lakes. They were active with the Boosters Club there when their kids were going to school, and I think they're still active today. I know they're very active with Cornerstone's Thanksgiving Food Drive and Holiday Toy Drive.
I think the other thing that they've also done is provided their own team as volunteers to some of our events like the Northern Virginia Fine Arts Festival. So it's not just a business relationship, but they've really become a part of the Grace family.
They love to volunteer at our two festivals, Taste of Reston and Flavors of Fall. And they bring a whole team. I mean, sometimes they bring 10, 15 people.
Ellen has volunteered at 5 of the last Maker Fairs and actually managed the Take Apart event for 4 of the last. So the Take Apart event is this amazing area of utter chaos and mayhem where kids are taking apart random broken computers, printers, anything that's dead. And she basically remains one of those unflappable people during this all, which is sort of amazing considering the noise and confusion.
She just gets in it, like just gets her hands dirty. It's not where it's one of those type of things that, oh, I'll throw a couple dollars at it and then that'll just fix the problem. She's very proactive.
So, Mike is on the Planning and Zoning Committee for Reston, and it's been a valuable resource to us because Mike's been able to provide us insight into some of the projects that are coming on board and how the Chamber can be supportive of those projects. Michael was also very active with our committee here when we were looking at the PRC amendment and what position we wanted to take on that, and his insights were invaluable to the Chamber. Their reach is far and wide when it comes to supporting the community here in Reston.
Thank you. Thank you, BEI, and thank you, Mike and Ellen.
For expertise in IT that makes connections, IT's their thing. Please welcome BEI's Mike and Ellen Jennings.
Thank you, everyone. That's not my fault. We would first just like to say how honored we are to receive this award. We consider it a really great privilege to be in the company of other recipients, both past and present. We'd like to thank our 2 business partners, Suki and Jake Havermail, for their hard work and dedication to our clients and to running our company the right way. Thank you to the many BEI staff, many of whom have been with us for over 10 years. Their hard work and the way they embody BEI's core values makes running the business a lot of fun.
Thank you to our many Reston friends for their energy and enthusiasm in joining BEI's volunteer activities. It takes a village to pour good beer. Thank you to our children, Ann and Chris, for putting up with the long hours and weekends involved with owning a business, as well as always letting us know that talk about BEI over the dinner table is not really that interesting. And finally, thank you to Bob Simon and to all the people who help make Reston such a special place to live, work, and play.
Thank you once again. Thank you. Congratulations. Be careful on the stairs.
Okay.
when the Jennings heard that they got this award, they decided to get a leg up on the competition, and it's unfortunate how it turned out. Listen, I want to go off script for just a minute. Each of you here this evening is here for a specific reason. But all of you are here tonight to honor our awardees. So I realize we have a packed program, everybody's trying to eat at the same time, but I would ask you please to pay attention when the honorees come on stage. They have some wonderful things to say. Thank you. Joining me on stage now to present this next award is Julian Setien of SOSI. Believing that in our generous and caring community no one should go hungry, Bob Schnapp engaged his congregation of Shorsham and the Giving Circle of Hope in a simple program that has impressive results. From its simple beginnings in 2015, now watch this, there's a cool thing going on.
I just love working with Bob Schnapp. Bob had this great idea that he'd heard from the West Coast, called a simple gesture. We call it cool green bags at St. Anne's. Cool green bags was a concept that allowed regular people an easy way to donate groceries to people who need it, to local food pantries and other resources.
Bob provides green bags, which makes this program so easy. So they have 2 months between pickups. You fill up your bag, and then the pickup person picks it up.
He has drivers for Cornerstones, he has drivers for Link, he has drivers for St. Anne's, and drivers for South Lakes High School.
You get in the car, the biggest car you can find, because people are very generous, and you go. And you go house by house by house, and you pick up bags. And then after you collect all your bags, you go to your specified drop-off point and you get help from the pantry coordinator unloading, and the people at that site unloading all those bags from your car, and then you leave.
When Bob started this program, I think he bought something like 50 bags, or maybe 100, I can't remember.
Well, the first month when he started, it was 50 bags. Then he went on 75, then it was 90 bags, and up to the point that we didn't have any more space to put all the food.
He's up to something like 850 or so drivers.
Lately, we have been receiving over 8,000 pounds every 2 months in donations, starting from food and toiletries.
I think the total as of the last pickup is 220,000 pounds of food since June of 2015. Which is pretty incredible.
For example, just a couple of weeks ago, we had a huge drop-off from Bob. I think we had something like 170 bags of food. That drop-off makes a huge difference. So that covers us for a couple of weeks.
When we started running into getting too much food, now we're looking for places to give the food to organizations. There's an organization called Artemis House, which works with survivors of domestic violence. And we now give them, so Cool Green Bags gives us food, and we now act as a distribution center for Artemis House and other organizations. It's a great deal.
Years past, we always had to buy food from Capital Area Food Bank to meet our needs at the pantry. And so that's something that we don't have to worry about anymore, because we have Bob and a simple gesture.
It is a simple program, and if it weren't for Bob Schnapp, it wouldn't be simple at all, because his house is full of green bags. I respect him so much. I think he's wonderful. I think what he has done for this community is, it chokes me up to even talk about it, because I think it's so necessary, and it's incredible that there are people like that out there.
A simple gesture, feeding families, one cool green bag at a time. Please welcome to the stage, Bob Schnapp.
The video is overwhelming, I have to tell you. Thanks to SOCI for sponsoring this evening and Cornerstones and the selection committee. Congratulations to the other nominees. I am amazed and humbled by the incredible work they have done for the community. First, let me thank Shorshim, my tiny Jewish congregation in Reston. In April of 2015, I asked Shorshim members if they were interested in sponsoring the program and making it one of our long-term social action projects. They readily agreed and provide funds to buy bags. Then our members immediately signed up to help. Next, I want to help my family, my incredibly fabulous wife of over 45 years, Francine Friedman. She's my advisor, consultant, editor, and many other things. My daughter Robin has been in charge of one of the pantries for each collection and created our Facebook page. And my son Michael designed our web page. Both of them grew up here in Reston and continue to live its spirit. Next are my angels, Joan Kasperwitz, Deanna Katz, the Giving Circle of Hope, and the National Virginia Community Foundation, who gave me funds to triple our size from 150 to 450 donors. These funds cover our minimal overhead for bags and technology. In fact, for every dollar we have spent, we've delivered over $30 of food to the pantries. The Closet of Greater Herndon area, with Tim Barrick's help, St. Anne's Episcopal Church, provided funds to help us more than double our base to over 1,000 donors now. I now rely on 4 people for a great deal of administrative support: Rachel Freitag, Allison Retman, Karen Peterson, and Tiffany Deal. I want to thank the 4 pantries and their managers to whom we deliver all of our food at Cornerstones, Link, South Lakes High School, and the St. Anne's Episcopal Church. Plus the more than 100 volunteers who sort the food at the pantries and those who drive to all corners of the region to pick up our cool green bags. Deanna Katz once told me, "People here are very generous. You just have to make it simple for them to help you." A Simple Gestures motto is, "You fill the bag, we do the rest." That's all there is. So a big thank you to the more than 1,000 people who believe that this is such a great way to help. The last order of business is, raise your hand if you have a cool green bag at home and participate in a simple gesture. Your job tonight is to sign up the rest of the people in this room. So thank you very much for this incredible honor. Sign up and join us, and good night.
Congratulations once again, Bob, and for the simple gesture. Now that you've gotten just a taste of the amazing contributions from people and companies here in our community, please welcome the immediate past chair of the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and former Best of Reston honoree Charles Kapoor of John Marshall Bank, and Vice Chair of the Cornerstones Board of Directors Larry Schwartz of P.B. Morris to the stage for some special thanks.
Well, thank you, Phil, for getting us started tonight, and congratulations to all of the incredible honorees that we've recognized so far this evening. It's a great pleasure for me to be here and join Larry of Cornerstones. John Marshall Bank is proud to be a longtime supporter of Cornerstones and the great work that they do in our community. And as I look at the way we packed this room here today, we're not alone in that. And on behalf of the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce, I could say that we are delighted that Julian has accepted the challenge to serve as chair for this year's event. And I gotta say, Julian from the beginning said that he planned to best the money that was raised year after year for Cornerstones. And from what I can see and from what I've heard going on tonight, I think we're well on our way, and I couldn't be more pleased. Absolutely. Now, with all due love and respect to last year's gala chairs, Charlene Wheelis and Doug Boucher, given Julian's drive, I think they're going to have to settle for being second best. And if anyone tells Charlene that I said that, I will deny ever saying that.
Thanks, Charlie. Oh, Charles, our work at Cornerstones would not be possible with partners like Julian and his team at SOCI. And we're particularly grateful for our sustained partnership with the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce as one of the Chamber's first members, and for the work we get to do together. The Chamber's commitment to creating a strong, vibrant community for all of us by encouraging the good works and corporate involvement you see tonight is truly remarkable. Charles, and to Chamber President Mark Ingrao, Cornerstones is truly grateful for your partnership, and thank you both so much. Each year, this celebration depends on the help of the host of volunteers who are listed in our program book. We want to thank everyone who had a hand in planning this event tonight. The list is really very, very long, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, of course, the incredible staff at Cornerstones. Our partners at the Reston Chamber, SOCI, Reston Community Center, of course, our great friends and partners here at the Hyatt, and Jerry Ferguson of Fairfax Public Access, all of whom worked really, really hard behind the scenes to make tonight possible, and we know the rest of the evening is really going to be spectacular.
Good evening. I'm Jerry Connolly, the congressman here in Reston. And there was no collusion. Maybe there was. I don't know. It is great to be here at the Best of Reston. And one of the jobs I have in Congress is I am the head of the U.S. delegation to the NATO Parliamentary Assembly, which is the legislative arm of NATO. And as you may have noticed yesterday, for the first time in history, we invited the Secretary General of NATO to address a joint session of Congress. This is the 70th anniversary of NATO. And NATO has one heck of a success story. You all are not old enough to remember something we called the Cold War. All right, one or two of you are, and you know who you are. But for the rest of you, the Cold War was a 50-year struggle. And between two very different and competing systems, and we formed NATO to be a collective defense against Soviet communism that had descended, as Churchill said, as an iron curtain on the continent. And for 70 years, NATO kept the peace. A continent that had started 2 world wars, avoided massive conflict for the 3rd time because of NATO. But the other part of NATO was not only collective defense, but it was about shared values, promoting democracy. And let me tell you something. I just met today with a couple of countries' representatives. They all want to join NATO. I have yet to meet a country that wants to join Vladimir Putin. Now, why do I mention all of this? Because in many ways, what Cornerstones does, what Reston does as a community, in many ways mimics, on a smaller scale, but a very vital scale, what NATO did. Collective defense. We take care of our own. We invest in people. and we help people get back on their feet, get back with their lives. That is a very important thing to do because every human being has value. And secondly, we have shared values. We believe in the lifting hand ethic. We believe that we all are part of this and have to stand together as one community and that everybody can have a place in that community. Those shared values help build this country. Those shared values allowed us to have that collective defense known as NATO that actually ultimately defeated Soviet communism and the dehumanization of people that it represented. And so I was thinking about that connection when I was getting ready for tonight. It starts at this level. It starts with the values we hold together as a community. They're very powerful and they can change the world, but it starts first in our own neighborhood. God bless Cornerstone. God bless Reston. Congratulations to all of our awardees. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It is such a pleasure to be with you. Ken Plum and I are really fortunate people because not only do we represent all of Reston in the Virginia legislature, but we both live here. We know what a wonderful community this is. I've been in the General Assembly now representing you for 28 years, the longest serving woman ever. But before I was in the legislature, for 10 years I was on the Cornerstone's board. And I learned so much about a caring community, people who want to make everybody else successful, and the importance of housing. And I'm really happy to report to you that yesterday, our last day of the session, we were able to add $17 million a year for permanent supportive housing. And significant increases to the Housing Trust Fund. You all have a huge impact now statewide. And I want to thank you for everything that Cornerstone does, and thank all of you for supporting Cornerstones.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Delegate Ken Plum. It's been my honor now to represent Reston. And I'm sorry we got into a bidding war, but I've been representing Reston for 39 years. Jane, my wife Jane and I always look forward to Best of Reston because although we're heavily involved in the community, it always is the case when we come here, we meet wonderful new people that we hadn't known about who are busy in our community doing so many good things. And when we look at the community we serve, and when we serve in the Virginia legislature, now celebrating 400 years of being in existence, when we think about how it is that our community can reflect on the broader community of in Richmond, as Janet was mentioning, in so many ways we serve as an example. Example of how it is that people can work together for the welfare of all the people, not selected people, but as Bob Simons envisioned it, and as so many of you have been part of making it happen, it's something that we are extremely proud of. And one of the ways that we're able to tell Richmond about Reston is that when this Best of Reston occurs, we get these long resolutions drawn up that enumerate all the good things that the groups that you're hearing about tonight are doing. And we present those to the legislature and they're enacted, and we bring back a copy of them and we give them to the people who are here because we want you to know that we think you're on the right track. We want you to know that we're incredibly proud to represent this community and we're incredibly proud of what you're doing. God bless all of you for what you're doing. A little bit later tonight, we'll have an opportunity for you to get even more involved in supporting our community. Thank you for having us, and God bless you.
Thanks, Jerry. As the Virginia 11th District Representative for the past decade, you have been an unwavering stalwart in the community, and we thank you for your service to our nation. Thank you, Senator Janet Howell, Delegate Ken Plum, who represent the community so effectively. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage, again, Mr. Mark Ingrao, President and CEO of the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. Come over here.
Thank you, Julian. Appreciate it. Congratulations to Casey Veach, the newest Simon Fellow, and to all the honorees. Telling your stories provides the entire community a glimpse of the great body of philanthropic work performed in this community. Thank you for being great community stewards. Recognizing businesses, individuals, and civic organizations that have gone the extra mile and continue to transform this community into a better place for all is a great way to spend an evening, what, don't you think? Yes. This event is the Chamber's annual gala. We don't hold a gala other than this. And we are proud to use this event to celebrate the community give back that not only businesses do, but also the civic and volunteer organizations and individuals. We celebrate the 28-year anniversary of our partnership with Cornerstones, and we stand on the shoulders of Bob Simon and those leaders who blazed the path before us. On behalf of our 600-member business organizations, I want to say that we are overwhelmed by the generosity of this community as we set out to raise contributions to help homelessness and assist Cornerstones in accomplishing its mission. We are known as a chamber with a social conscience, and our members, through their time, treasure, and talent, help us live up to that moniker every day. The chamber treasures the powerful partnership that is alive today with Cornerstones. I am a Cornerstone. I personally give the best to Reston because I believe in the three legs of the community's stool: the nonprofit, government, and private sector, which all must be strong for a community to thrive. I know that the funds raised tonight will help provide shelter for the homeless, equip children to succeed in school and in life, parents to find better jobs to support their families and contribute to the economic success of the region. To that end, and on top of recognizing these great selfless works, this event is also a fundraiser, and the proceeds go towards ending homelessness in the county. We know many of you are guests of someone here tonight, and if you've been inspired from what you've seen and want to support the critical mission of Cornerstones and become a Cornerstone yourself, participate in the Pay It Forward auction that Delegate Ken Plum will lead us in just a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screen and see how your support is and will pay off.
Reston Opportunity Neighborhood and the Neighborhood Ambassador Program is just one example of a number of supportive programs and resources that Cornerstones provides to families and individuals on their journey to a better life. Participation provides ways for residents in low-income neighborhoods to help lift up their voice and identify and prioritize their needs. These are the very same neighborhoods in which Cornerstones works to implement interventions and provide supportive care. Neighborhood ambassadors are active change leaders, problem solvers, and advocates for the change they and their neighbors want to see. Neighborhood ambassadors, resident leaders from the 5 opportunity neighborhoods, are integral partners participating at every level of leadership in our opportunity neighborhood structure in order to identify and address social and racial inequities in our community. Saizana is a dedicated volunteer and passionate advocate for her community. She saw a need among the women in her neighborhood who might benefit from greater independence and inclusion into the larger community. So she began leading a free weekly English class at the Southgate Community Center.
Having the language is a good start to being anywhere, I think. It's a confidence building. You know, just to be able to say hi and bye in the language of amongst, the community that you live in, I think is crucial. You know, when the kids come home from school, maybe they'll bring pieces of homework they may not understand, but at least they know, I too am learning like you. And it's a continuous journey for everybody in different scale. A lot of the women in the class have gone on to continue the education. Many are taking the GED night classes, you know, and continuing English classes at the community college. I'm very proud of that. Many of them, some of them have come in with learner's permit when they started the class, but they've now taken that extra step of getting their driver's license, which is a huge deal. It's just a stepping stone to say, you know, what else and what's next. It'd be wonderful, I think, if the community, individuals, families, the community together have the trust in themselves, that they have all they need to succeed. And that when they have that confidence to say, I know what I want, me, the neighborhood ambassador, you know, the PCAs, the program coordinator, advocates, really the resource providers, we can say, we're here, we want for you what you want for yourself, you know, and tell us how we can walk with you. And how the community can help each other, really just the encouragement.
With your help, Cornerstones can bring people together to harness the strategies, program expertise, and resources for those in need to provide greater community well-being for everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the ambassadors that are back here to my right. Let's give it up for them.
Our next award of the evening, the Vade, Bolton, and Rodriguez Legacy Award, entitled Entrusting the Community's Future, is a special award presented to only 5 honorees in the history of Best of Reston. The award is given in honor of 2 past Best of Reston honorees, the late Vade Bolton and the late Ann Rodriguez, both of whom played pivotal roles in Cornerstones and the Greater Reston Chamber and were honored individually for their volunteer efforts. Joining me to present tonight's award is 2015 Bolton Rodriguez honoree and a great fellow as of this evening, Casey Veach. Wanting to do something different for her birthday, young Taylor Yee asked for gifts to help other children in need. This loving impulse led Taylor and her mom Helen to start Touching Heart to help young people channel their kindness and big ideas into meaningful acts. Last year alone, these kid-generated, kid-designed, and executed projects engaged 500 local children, benefiting 3,800 people, reaching more than 20,000 since they began their work.
Touching Hearts got involved with us over 10 years ago. It was the brainchild of Helen Yee. When she first came to me years ago, she said, okay, kids will be involved. And I thought, oh, okay, a lot of kids, the Girl Scouts and different groups come to us, you know, kids help do stuff. But these kids are involved in unique ways. They run things. They actually have their own ideas.
For the junior board, they want kids to do it because kids have the mindset of other kids in their community, versus if adults were on the board, then it would be a totally different mindset. They'd have to understand.
Civic engagement doesn't necessarily have to wait until you're 18 or older. It can begin at a much younger age, but students really want to make a difference in their community.
Touching Heart really gives kids the opportunity to step up and organize something that they really wanted to do, and they could invite friends to do it along with them.
It is an opportunity for students to get together, to share ideas with their peers, but really they're taking action.
They've helped many kids in homeless shelters, foster cares. They've put on 5K runs, basketball events. There was a Minecraft event up at George Mason.
Collecting clothing, whether it's gathering funds that would go to support people who need more financial resources. But they realize this, they learn about it, they have a chance to discuss it in their group, and then they create a plan of action to go out and actually do this, this work in their own neighborhood.
If you teach a kid at a young age, they're most likely going to have that for the rest of their life. So Touching Heart's motto is to teach kids to give back at a young age so it stays with them the whole life and that they can make an effect in the world.
Touching Heart really helps you think about others and not just yourself.
When I explain it to folks, because I tell the foster parents, I tell the biological parents, and when I'm in front of kids, I tell them, these are people that love you from the community that you come from.
There's a lot of mentoring that happens through Touching Heart, and certainly Helen's vision has allowed for that to happen.
Her enthusiasm and her love spread out to, she has so many helpers that come and do so much, and so many chaperones, and so many people that take their time out from the community, adults, to make sure the kids are safe and get what they need and get where they are. No other, I think that's amazing.
Putting a caring and responsible adult in contact with students just provides the platform. The students come with the ideas, but they don't necessarily know the points of contact or how to organize their thinking. And that's where the mentoring really plays a great role.
The people who do get involved are truly special people because everyone is dedicating their time to really help organize the events with us so that it turns out awesome and that we can raise enough money so that it really has a positive effect on the charity. And so they really inspire me to be extra kind and thoughtful every single day.
So I'm thankful for them and always thankful to them to help the children in the community.
Please welcome Touching Heart, generations inspiring gifts of love from open hearts, represented tonight by Helen Yee.
Thank you so much for this huge honor. We're so humble standing here. You know, 10 years, I guess 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago, looking back, I would have never thought that I'd be standing here. Our mission is just to inspire kids to have a giving heart. We want to instill kindness and compassion in them at an early age so that they can grow up to be like you guys and do amazing things in the community. So thank you, Cornerstone, Best of Reston, for your continued support. We are so honored, and we share this special recognition with all the Touching Heart families. They're sitting over there, sort of all over throughout. And of course, behind me, we have the junior boards, we have advisory boards and board of directors. So thank you so much for all you do for the community.
Am I getting older or the board's getting younger? I'm trying to rationalize that. Join me to present our next award. Will be Buffy O'Gorman of Long and Foster and Reverend Tim Ward of the Restoration Church in Reston. For more than 44 years, Roz Rakoff has exemplified Reston's caring spirit, volunteering, shaping, and sustaining Reston's nonprofit and civic institutions that inspired her family's Reston journey and experience. Her caring heart drives her to make deep connections, always seeing beyond immediate need a person might be experiencing to the possibility and opportunity in their lives.
I first met Roz Rakoff through Stu, her beloved husband, and it was because Stu came to Cornerstones, was our chairman of the board at a really critical time. And as I got to know them, I realized how important she was to that family and who he was, and really how important she is to Reston. Roz has been working in this community for over 40 years. She's been named one of the pioneer women of Reston. There's so many things that she's involved in. The Reston Kids Triathlon, the cardboard regatta down at Lake Ann, Grace, and other programs in the arts, working with programs at the school.
She's so fun and so genuine. She's wonderful to work with. And she always is so grateful to be here, and we're ecstatic to have her, and she always says that she gets more from coming than she feels like she gives. She's really helped get information about other services in the community to several students and bought diapers and things that we don't necessarily always have in the pantry, but she knows that students need, and she'll buy those specifically for someone. Someone will mention that they found something we're low on at the dollar store, and the next week she'll come and be delighted that she found deodorant or whatever we're, happen to be out of, that she found a great deal on that, and she'll come with bags of shampoo or deodorant or something that we really need.
With the number of kids, for example, at South Lakes that speak Spanish or other languages, Roz, to make that connection, is continuing to work on her own Spanish so she can communicate and really understand what's going on in the home. And she does all of that with just this innate way to be able to connect with kids, and they see this adult that they can trust who really cares about them.
Roz is a big part of the Reston Scholarship at the Community Foundation for Northern Virginia. She's passionate about it. She loves Reston. She loves helping these kids. If there's one word I could think of to describe Roz, it would be caring and giving. Okay, it's two words. She's a part of the selection committee at the Scholarship Fund. She's also on the advisory committee, and she's also a mentor.
It was really exciting because a lot of the recipients of the scholarship are people who use our pantry, and so it was neat for her to get to know them through the pantry as well as through the scholarship.
But she has also been there as a donor and investor in the programs she cares about. She was one of the early members of the Giving Circle of Hope, brought women together to say, how can we invest in organizations that are really making a difference? And she's been a mainstay there.
And she's also very involved with Laurel Learning through Cornerstones.
She helps out at elections. She's volunteered on the house tours. She just can't do enough.
And not only that, one of her volunteer activities is for one of our other honorees tonight. Her devotion to family extends just beyond her own to the entire Reston community. I don't think she'll ever know the impact she has had for the people she's met along her journey.
She's definitely the neighbor I want to have, and she's the neighbor I strive to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roz Rakoff. Roz has just told me she's not saying anything. That gives us 5 more minutes to hug here. Anyway, we thank Roz for all of her contributions. "28 years, shortest speech I've ever heard." Joining me to present our next award is Dr. Tom Schuler of the Virginia Spine Institute. Mina and Mark Fees started their home design and remodeling company in Reston with a 3-person team. From the beginning, they devoted themselves to growing their impact on organizations and people in need, just as much as their company, and have encouraged their employees to do the same. Whatever moves an employee's generous heart gets the go-ahead from Mina and Mark. So together, their 16 team members support 22 different organizations and causes that they are passionate about. working with the community's most vulnerable to design solutions for a better way of life.
Because I've known Mark and Mina for a long time, I know from personal experience just how much they care about giving back. So it's very important to both of them that beyond the sticks and bricks of remodeling, that there's the creation of home for whoever needs it.
Mina and I served on the Helping Homes Committee, which was community give back, basically working with homeowners who were in violation with Reston Association's DRB, who had financial or medical reasons why they couldn't complete the repairs needed. We would source materials and volunteers from other contractors or other people to do the labor to actually make the repairs.
We do a lot of work within women's shelters, within the Embry-Rucker shelter. We also provide expertise and help in the Artemis House. We've helped we've helped construct fences, we've helped repair homes. We've done all sorts of things for various folks within the community.
Cornerstones Housing Corporation is extremely grateful for Synergy, who completed the rehab work for North Point Apartments. The contractors that did come out, they actually spent 2 full days in doing the work for the fence repair that was definitely needed at the apartment complex. Because of the work Synergy did, they were actually able to help save us money, and we were able to put that money back into the families in the communities and also into the residents that do need the assistance.
We frequently participate in local food drives, backpack drives. We were wrapping Christmas gifts with some other volunteers at the shelter this holiday season. We have done Thanksgiving drives. We just donated as many accessories as we could to the Diva Central drive. We donate dresses. We're always looking for opportunities to help others in the community.
The Restore, we take new and used building material items that would normally be thrown out. We sell these items and we use the proceeds to build affordable housing. Synergy normally donates a lot of kitchen cabinets, higher item appliances that we normally sell for a pretty fair market price. I mean, mostly over the course of the day, we normally get donations that are donated from residential and homeowners, which keeps us going. But when we get donations from Synergy, it actually creates a big bump in our sales, and we see the significant difference.
Mina has regularly given her time to speak at ethics days and careers days, encouraging young women and young entrepreneurs getting into the field of business, really putting forward how to be a leader as a woman in the industry, and really putting her best foot forward and representing Synergy in an industry that typically does not attract women.
Mina is such a great motivational speaker. She does a lot of speaking engagements in the community.
Mark is very much involved with the Special Olympics. He has been involved for a number of years at the board level. They raise around $50,000 per year. He plays golf regularly with his partner David, and in fact participated in the state games last year, winning a medal.
Working with Mina and Mark is great. It's fun because almost every one of their employees is involved in the community.
The opportunity to work in an environment where the owners are so caring about not only their team, but about those around us is just really enlightening, and it just makes this a joy to do every day. So it goes beyond what we sit and do in the office every day. It's really getting out there and meeting folks in our community and helping others.
Changing lives by design. Please welcome Synergy Design and Construction founders Mark and Mina Fees.
Thank you. We are so honored to accept this on behalf of our entire team. We are just beyond thrilled. And I can tell you, when Mark and I started the company over 10 years ago, we just had no idea how fulfilling it would be. Like, we knew we'd fall in love with our clients. Like, home remodeling is a very intimate and sacred experience. And we knew we'd fall in love with our employees because we only hire the best and they all have got great energy. But we had no idea how much we'd fall in love with the Reston community. It just makes such a difference for us to have a team that's just as dedicated to giving back and making a difference in this world. And every single person in this room actually is looking to make this world a better place. And it's just an honor to accept this on behalf of our entire team. Thank you to Cornerstones and the Best of Reston for over 40 years of giving back. And here's to the next 40. Thank you.
Joining me now to present our next award is Doug Boucher of the Core Foundation. Are they cheering for you? Now that cheering I think the cheering is for Doug, and I don't know how much he paid those folks, but that was pretty well done. Nicely done, Doug. Our next honoree is one of those rare breeds, a true kid of Reston, who gives back to the community he feels has given him everything. As an adult, he is energized by what he learned from Reston's commitment to solving problems and supporting civic and nonprofit organizations with spirited volunteerism. In all his contributions, Kurt's passion for his community is an example of putting service above self and ensuring that all kids can know the benefit of a caring community and have the tools they need to achieve and to thrive.
Kurt Rose. He is an advocate for our community. He truly does make Reston sparkle through his own business, Aspen Jewelers, and basically everything he gets involved with our community. Certainly his involvement with Imagination Library to ensure that kids in Herndon, from the Rotary standpoint, have got books from birth to 5 years old, and he's so involved in that program and keeps it growing.
Kurt has been my co-chairman, primarily funded the fundraiser person, and we've now up to 1,800 children plus, and we just crossed over the 100,000 book mark since 2005.
But then there's also the little free libraries. Kurt and Diane have a little free library in front of their own house so that people can take, leave a book, take a book. He decided he wanted to pay for little free libraries in front of every elementary school in Reston. And again, his generosity is just incredible.
Kids Are First, and how he's done so much, getting us all involved in sponsorship and in playing golf in the golf tournament. And then we got to take backpacks out to the schools in Herndon because Kids Are First, it's spread all over the region now. And to be there when the kids come in and they have backpacks loaded with school supplies and they're like, is these for me? It's really, really beautiful.
Kurt's involvement with Lake Ann Cardboard Boat Race Regatta. When we first heard the idea, Kurt jumped in with both feet, said this is the perfect event for Reston. Kurt does a wonderful job of championing it and being the chairperson to keep it rolling forward.
He's a doer, that's all I can say. And he's a fantastic fundraiser.
Kurt's a good fundraiser because he's not afraid to ask. And he sets the example. He donates something.
Whether it's the South Lakes High School Band Boosters or Cornerstones or Reston Historic Trust, you name it, he is willing to provide jewelry for in-kind donations so that all these organizations can do raffle prizes, silent auctions, and every time that you go to one of these organizations, almost every time you go to one of these organizations and one of their events, you will see something on raffle, on offer from Aspen Jewelry.
But one day he came into Rotary and he said, I've been reading this article about diamond wars going on in Sierra Leone. I'm in the business of selling jewelry and diamonds, and this really bothers me so much. I want to do something about this. Who wants to join me? Well, everyone was on board. That's how we met Mariama, 15-year-old girl who had lost an arm. We found that there was another Rotary Club up in New England that was providing prosthetics for these young people. We welcomed her at the airport and we took care of her and took her in our arms. We had arranged for a family from Sierra Leone that lived in Herndon to actually take care of, let her stay in their home. For us, just this one thing that we could do meant so much. And we were so grateful that Kurt brought us into one of his many passions. He keeps coming up with ways to engage us in the greater community. And he will, I don't think he'll ever stop.
A sparkling gem of community spirit. Please welcome Kurt Rose.
All right, there's one thing I gotta get out of the way, right? I gotta get this out of the way right now. It's my sister's birthday today. And I have two older sisters, and Chris, whose birthday is today, is by far the oldest. And so if I could get all 700 people here to say happy birthday, Chris, on 3, that'd be great. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Chris! That's your present. And by the way, once again, your birthday is really all about me. That picture of Mariama really threw me. I wasn't expecting that. And that brings back a lot of fond memories and hard memories, and I'm having a hard time composing myself because of that. And I'm so happy you saw that. And anyways, I am humbled and I'm honored to be among, stop it. That's the brew house table, by the way. They're totally wasted. They brought, all right, I have this whole speech to write. I'm humbled and honored to be among such respected and dedicated honorees. What an amazing group of people. I thank you for your service to our community. This award goes out to all the people I suckered into being on one of my committees or suckered me into being one of theirs. Like Susan Unger. Susan, where are you? Susan, are you over there? I can't see anything. Susan, the founder of Kids Are First. So 20 years ago, she founded Kids Are First, and now she's helped over 300,000 children in need in our community. She gets this award. Richard Downer, you're over there, right? One of my fellow Rotarians and co-chair of the Imagination Library in Herndon. Oh yeah. So we just surpassed 100,000 books that we've given to children in Herndon. Oh yeah. I had to put on my glasses for this. The Lake End Cardboard Boat Regatta Committee. Can we, come on, lift it up, come on, right here. Who thought duct tape and cardboard could be so much fun? Am I allowed to cuss? All right. I want to thank, God, that's such a fun committee. If you want to be on it, join us, it's great, I tell you, we meet at the brew house. Well, that's where things started. So, the past and present board members of the Reston Museum and Historic Trust, what a wonderful group of people. I thank you for reminding me how important Reston's history is and how important it is to keep it going. And I can't imagine not being a part of that group. And I thank Bob Simon for just where I live. I gotta thank Roz too for giving me the extra minute to speak because I have a lot to say. So, this is also for my mom. I know, this is where it gets really teary-eyed, and I don't know if I'm gonna hold it back. She taught me the significance of giving back. is something she's done her entire life. All she's done is given back. So thank you, Mom. And Diane. All right. For those on this side of the room that don't know me, that's my wife. 25 years this month we've been married. That means she's been put up with me for 25 years, which is really, really impressive, and she should get this award. My kids, Cameron, Julia, also for putting up with me. And my awesome sisters, Chris and Karen. You met Chris earlier, she's the oldest one. And finally, Rick Little, my partner and my brother. 25 years ago, we opened Aspen Jewelry Designs, and he told me back then, we would always give back to the community that gives to us. And I thank him in this public forum for being such an important part of my family and part of me. Thank you, brother. And of course, I gotta thank everybody else who supported our store for 25 years. Thank you so much. And I end this, I'm sure you're wondering when he's gonna end this. But I end this, it is our duty, and my kids are right now saying he just said duty. Am I right? It is our duty as citizens to help our neighbors. If you see a child that is hungry, you feed that child. If you see someone that needs clothing, you give them clothing. If a child can't read, you give them a book and you teach them. It's not complicated. It's what we do. It's our job to help the ones that need it most. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Kirk. And also, Kirk, thank you for the donation of tonight's one-of-a-kind auction item, the beautiful necklace. It's another example of his generosity. Congratulations on your accomplishments and your award. Well, that just about brings us to dessert. Before we all make our way to the Hyatt Conservatory Lounge, otherwise known as the bar, to celebrate tonight's honorees, let's thank tonight's host and sponsors.
We have a special treat because there's another group of young men who have started a foundation, but some of you may remember, those of you that were Best of Reston a few years ago, a young 13-year-old Joseph Dagby, who's in the community, Phil was worried he was going to take over his slot for good.
He did.
He did. But Joseph and his pals, can you guys stand up, David? Yeah. Have been doing such amazing things since you took stage. Could you tell everybody just a quick minute about what you're doing?
Yeah. So my name is Joseph Dagby. I am the founder, president, and CEO of Universe Foundation. Universe Foundation is, thank you. Universe Foundation is a foundation that looks to help the youth. We use our creativity and connection with the community to really inspire kids to be productive in their communities through events, camps, and workshops. And right now we're looking to do our first event on May 11th at the End Zone in Chantilly. It's called Endless Energy, and it brings local amateur artists, basketball players, and fashion all together in one spot to really raise money for a good cause and send kids to camp this summer. So yeah. Thank you.
All right, stay with us up here.
Hey, Phil, thanks a lot for sharing these wonderful stories with us. As you can imagine, with incredible honorees like these, SOCI's humbled and inspired to be part of this evening, and we're grateful to each of you in this room. I offer my thanks to the incredible team of volunteers who are listed in the program book, including Jerry Ferguson of Fairfax Public Access, and the Hyatt Regency Reston and their team for hosting us tonight. I also want to share my personal thanks to my team at SOCI who've been champions of Cornerstones for the last several years. Frank, Janet, Mike, I mean, without you, we would not have been an awardee last year. And really, I mean, you know, this isn't just my passion, it's the passion of the organization. I'm just truly thankful and indebted to our team for embracing this cause as willingly as you have. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So we set some lofty goals for the event, and clearly you can see that the room was packed, both to celebrate some incredible individuals and to show our commitment and support to the Cornerstones mission. Because of your generosity, I'm really pleased to join the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce in presenting this check to Cornerstones for record-breaking $504,660.
Thank you guys so much for being part of this event, for recognizing the incredible people who give back. Again, Julian, it has been just such a ride. You've introduced us to some incredible people, and I hope you've seen just a little bit of what happens when a community comes together. I'm so blessed to work with the best board. They're courageous, the best staff, the best partners, and honestly, the best neighbors who are continuing to take our community into the future, because we're changing. We have a lot to do, but we thank you guys so much. Next year, Cornerstone celebrates its 50th year of service in the community. And I say celebrate because with our housing corporation team and with so many of you, we have done so much to be able to bring people home, to allow them to take care of their families, to realize what they want to do. And so we will celebrate that, but we need to do more. So we hope you will join us next September. We're going to mix it up a little bit. So next September will be our 50th celebration, and we'll do something very wonderful. This team on this stage, Phil, the ultimate, Joseph, hang around, kid, because, you know, Phil, you know, may not be around forever. At least 20 years, 30 years. He's moved to Rehoboth.
This is the best news I've heard all evening.
No. Seriously, for the incredible team, the Chamber, and Julian, SOCI, our presenting sponsors, all of our partners, thank you. We are going downstairs. Clearly, Kurt and the brew house know how to keep the after party going, so we're going down. So we're going downstairs for dessert, celebrate the honorees, and thank you all so much for doing this for the people of Cornerstones. Thank you.
When Cornerstones was established in 1970, its founders recognized that even in a community where people are welcomed and are welcoming, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, or socioeconomic background, people could work hard and still not earn enough to support their families, that there would always be hungry people or people in crisis. Many in our community are just one unexpected life event away from living in their car or on a friend's couch or on the street. No one plans on being homeless.
My life before, I was the owner of a big pharmacy in Washington, D.C. In August of 2010, I discovered an embezzlement of several $million. And by the summer of 2014, I have lost everything. The house and my business. We have yet to leave the house in Great Falls. And in October 4th of 2014, we entered the Embry Rucker Center. My first impression, it was a surprise. It was a pleasant surprise. The people were very, very nice. I got a nice welcome. And we got a nice room. And my biggest surprise was the food. There was a kitchen with 4 ladies cooking fresh food 3 times a day. And my biggest pleasant surprise was my case manager. He provided a lot of love and psychological support, and he explained to me all the services that Cornerstone is providing for the homeless people.
Our comprehensive programs provide stability to people in times of crisis, resources that promote empowerment for moving forward, and hope for the future. At Cornerstones, we meet people wherever they are, without judgment.
Now I have my home. My daughter, she's in school, she's very good. She's gonna go university. My husband, good job working. Now I'm thinking to go to university, to finish my university, and to find good job after that.
Providing stability is only the first step. Where Cornerstones is different from other organizations is in providing the gift of time and resources that continue after the immediate crisis has passed. Cornerstones empowers people to take the next step in what is often a longer journey to well-being through their own hard work and the tenacious support of Cornerstone staff, volunteers, and partners. And we see the difference that makes every day.
I become a citizen and I enjoy the class, and it's helped me also. My English is become better and I speak better now, and I understand also people when they talking. And after that, I interested and I help her in the class. When I become citizen, I still come every week and help in the class.
When we got the place, the Cornerstone has been extremely supportive to us. They furnished the house because I didn't have anything left. New beds, tons of food, and any supply you can imagine. My case manager came here, brought cleaning things, sheets and clothes and food. So the ladies came here, they fixed everything for us. So it was an easy and very pleasant transition from the shelter to this place. And I'm very appreciative.
These individuals can imagine a future they thought out of reach and can begin to make goals for a better future. Goals we all share for ourselves and for our children. Goals that are possible with the support and partnership that you provide.
Immediately when we moved to the community, we knew that Cornerstones was going to be an excellent partner and build a strong relationship with us. We've been very involved with the organization, whether it's volunteering at the Embry Rucker shelter, participating in the Help to Homeless walks, and just frankly helping to secure affordable housing for those individuals living in our community. It's such a critical need to build a better Reston.
Cornerstones is proud of the role we play as a participant, convener, interconnector, and advocate, bringing people and sectors together to solve some of our region's most challenging problems. Our readiness program for job seekers has been adopted countywide, and with our business leaders, we're defining the skill sets needed for our current and future workforce. With Reston's Opportunity Neighborhood Initiative, Cornerstones is working along with our partners to see that all children thrive in a healthy start in life and are prepared to excel in school and career. And true to Cornerstone's founders, we believe that our job is to end homelessness, not just manage it, by developing housing that is affordable for people over their entire lifetime. Together with our partners, we have reduced homelessness in Fairfax County by 47%. We remain firmly rooted in the Reston community goals handed down by its founder. We apply the value that all may live, work, play, and serve in the many areas which Cornerstones operates today.
Cornerstone, it's a very, very important organization. Based on my experience, is providing a tremendous help to needy people. And I cannot express in words how appreciative I am for what Cornerstone has provided for me and my son. And most of all is, besides again all the material things we get, is the love and the attention we get from the case management.
It's like I'm become like, now I'm doing things, I'm happy. Yeah.